Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures.
And it's over. I think Lamar Jackson's really good. I'm not as sold on him as being great as many people are. But it's an interesting concept. Bears trade Fields, should they? Fields, they're number one overall, to Baltimore for Lamar Jackson and their lower number one.
And then that was a disastrous loss for Nevada last night. I think that just crushed any hopes. Because you're right, if San Diego State wins the conference tournament, I don't know who you pick.
Well,
if you're going to pick a second.
Yeah, it depends.
Because it looked like it was going to be Nevada.
Well, Boise State's going to be the 2.
Others had a broadcast on they won the Raider games, and Peyton said he's probably the most talented quarterback in the league. And I can't remember if he said Gruden damaged him or ruined him or something to those lines. But he said, I would like to see him somewhere else and see what would happen.
Yep.
And I thought that was a really interesting comment coming from Peyton, because I think he's probably got a pretty good eye for quarterbacks.
Yep. We're gonna
but I think Derek Carr could do really well in a lot of different places. So it'd be interesting to see, because then we'll finally know, was it the system or was it him, right?
Okay. All right. So right now, so you got a big game tonight. Chris Jans has a big game tonight, huh? Mississippi State's one of the last 4 teams in. What a season he's had. They started out, 9-0, 10-0 at Mississippi State, the former Aggie coach. They're net 39. They're a last 4 in team. He can, if they win tonight, he can play himself into, getting out of going to Dayton. They've got some